You know, I like to go onto ScrewAttack's channel and watch the death battles, and I've come to the conclusion that I really hate anime fans. Literally every time an anime character loses, anime fanboys just go fucking crazy. It's like they don't want to listen to reason. They always wanted to call, well, what about this, or what about that, or what about that? And they downplay the winner like they shouldn't have won. ScrewAttack is not biased. They're the ones who do months of fucking research to do this. And also, just because they leave shit out, they leave shit out on both sides, okay? A lot of people bring up Super Buu. Why didn't he get brought into this? Because that's outside help. And how the fuck is he supposed to get them to become Super Buu? And before anybody brings up what happened in the animation is for entertainment purposes. All honesty, Kirby did not actually need to suck up those people just to get his power-ups. Remember his stomach being actually an endless and infinite dimension of reality where a bunch of shit is stored that he can tap in and just use his copy ability to use those powers? He basically didn't need them to even be there. That and the fact that most of them were running away from him. Ergo, the outside help thing, kind of the bullshit. And the hammer and sword didn't really even do that much to Majin Buu. Also, they left out the measurements on when Kirby cracked the planet in half. He didn't just crack it in half. No, he fucking obliterated it. Let me show you the panels. Here Kirby is drawing katana. He slices, there's Pop Star, and it's gone. And Kirby is flowing through space. Which also brings up the point of Buu can't take the blast from his own explosions and gets turned to mush. So his durability is shit. Sure, he has a regeneration factor, that don't mean shit. I even heard somebody actually try and say that Buu could have stopped the planet burst ball from killing him. First of all, in the fight that Goku and Vegeta were having against Majin Buu, Goku stated that the planet burst ball he made had too much energy in it and was enough to blow up Earth 10 times over. You really think that he can stop something that he put way too much energy into in the first place? You know the phrase that people say all the time, like, I created a monster? That's what he did, and he couldn't control that. There was no way he was going to be able to control that. Plus that instant transmission, yeah, that takes you need to concentrate in order to do that. Instant transmission is teleportation. You basically need to know where the fuck you're going. And also, some of y'all probably just noticed that I have this 3DS has been sitting next to me the entire time. And that was another point that I wanted to bring up. People also wanted to comment that there was no way that Kirby could keep up with Buu in a fight. Okay, let me show you something real quick, okay? You really think he wouldn't be able to keep up with Majin Buu in a game of fisticuffs? Yeah, that's wrong. He so can.
And here's another comment that I actually found underneath one of those videos I told you about. There's so much wrong with this. You could have at least done research on Kirby. Kirby threw a monster into the sun and back. I don't think you get how amazing that is. The hypernova ability is not temporary. Kirby has been seen fighting on his warp star at high speeds many times. Kirby Adventures, Amazing Mirror, anime, also without the warp star on Rainbow Cruise, and Return to Dreamland. I don't get why you think Majin Buu is faster than the Warp Star. The Warp Star is not as fast as light, it's way faster. 2.3 times the speed of light is pathetic when you compare that to the Warp Star's 4,328 times, potentially more, the speed of light. The animation does not affect the outcome, so please stop complaining about Majin Buu being hit by a hammer and getting outside help. The hammer and sword and fighter ability didn't hurt Buu anyway. If you use this character does that and Majin Buu is stronger than him, so he can also do that logic. Kirby defeated Mogalore, who's universe level. While Kirby loses most of his abilities when getting hit, he can always just enter his dimension where he's stored an infinite amount of almost every ability, which also means that Kirby doesn't need outside help at all. Most of Buu's skills seem rather useless. City level attacks won't hurt Kirby. In fact, planet level attacks don't hurt him. You claim that they tried to make Kirby as strong as they possibly could. Even though you clearly haven't done any research or played any game, they actually left out a lot of Kirby's best feats, like beating Mogalore and surviving a black hole. And here's another one from eCookie. You know, I would agree with all the points if it weren't for the fact that you were coming off as a biased butthurt DBZ fanboy. Throughout the entire video, you talk about Majin Buu so much you barely said anything about Kirby besides what Death Battle told you. You did not do any necessary research for Kirby, nor did you even care to. And the fact that you said I wouldn't even care about him at the end of the video proves my point. All the facts that you stated are quite correct. However, you do not even know half of the things Kirby can do, or any of the things that Kirby has done. You call ScrewAttack biased, yet you yourself are as biased as it gets. Also, on your point about Buu could easily escape being swallowed by Kirby using his Shadow Attack, I agree on that. Super Buu could easily escape Kirby's stomach dimension, but what you forget to mention is that in the death battle, Kirby did swallow Majin Buu, not Super Buu. And I've never seen Majin Buu be able to tear holes in the fabric of reality by screaming in the anime or manga. In fact, Kid Buu makes an appearance later in the fight and tears a hole through reality, escaping Kirby's stomach. So that point is virtually mute.
Another thing is Toph versus Gaara. People wanted to say that Toph can't bend sand. First of all, yes she can. She said she feels the vibrations in the earth with her feet, and the sand was loose and shifty, and that it makes things look fuzzy. She never says that she couldn't bend sand, considering a minute later, she reaches down and turns it solid in half a second. So no, that argument is out the window. 2, saying that she can't bend his sand, it's still sand. Just because it's chakra infused does not make it anything magical or shit. It's still sand. But only somebody that can move at the speed of sound can dodge it. How many people has Gaara fought that also use sand? I remember somebody commenting that somebody manipulated Gaara's sand before. So if it's happened before, what makes anybody think that Toph, the world's greatest earthbender, can't do it?
Also, here's a comment from 1 month ago that I posted underneath the video explaining this victory. Chi, or Ki, is also known as latent energy or fighting power, which directly translates to life force. It's something every living being has and it leaves your body when you die. Chakra is ordinarily not visible to the unaided eye unless highly concentrated and manifested into large amounts. Because chakra takes time and a great deal of training to gradually build up, the key to its use is not actually having chakra, but instead being able to sufficiently control and conserve it. In other words, you can run out of chakra, but not chi. So when Gaara's chakra runs low, the sand armor and the chakra-infused sand become more manipulatable for Toph. Yes, his mom controls the sand in the gourd, but it's using chakra itself, which once again runs low eventually, especially during a fight. Like when it didn't come out when Gaara and Naruto were fighting and they were both out of chakra and they ran up and punched each other, knocking each other out. Unlike in Naruto, in the Avatar universe, even if you're near the point of exhaustion, people can still bend. Like in the finale of Legend of Korra when Kuvira and Koro were falling 50 stories from a mech that blew up after fighting in the top of it and being bounced around in the damn thing and being thrown against metal panels. Kuvira still managed to launch a chunk of concrete at Korra's head, and Korra could still spirit bend the energy from the cannon that put a 500-foot crater in the middle of the city. Also, unlike in Naruto, where chakra is used in basically every jutsu, bending is literally a thing of you can or you can't. Like how despite being siblings, Kasara can bend, but Sokka can't. Or in Legend of Korra, how Opal and her 3 other siblings can bend, but Bahir Jr., I think that's his name, can't. Basically, anyone in Naruto can train to become a ninja and use chakra. Look at Naruto himself, for example, who was literally horrible in the beginning. While in Avatar, it's a thing of either you can or you can't and no in between.
And once again, another thing that happened in the animation, which once again is for entertainment purposes, when she got up close to him and basically Iron Maiden his ass. And if y'all don't know what an Iron Maiden is, hold on, let me pull up a picture of one. This is an Iron Maiden. And there was also another argument of, wait, they made it look so defensive and that he's a lot stronger than her. First of all, no he is not, okay? Have you ever seen Toph? How many people have actually watched the Avatar The Last Airbender all the way through? I have, multiple times. Toph is one of the most OP characters there is. Hell, one time she actually had a sparring match between her, Aang, Katara, and Zuko. Oh yeah, and it was all of them against her. And she beat all 3 of them. Yes, she beat all 3 of them. Sure, Gaara stopped a bomb that could have annihilated an entire village. Toph, on the other hand, held up a library the size of a small city. No, not the size of a castle, it's the size of a small city. And a village versus a city, that's a lot different. Oh yeah, and I should also mention that that city-sized library was being pulled down. Not sinking, pulled down. Also, Toph and Gaara have very different styles when it comes to combat. Toph uses her senses, which are incredibly accurate, like Daredevil level senses, and has incredible precision and timing. That's how she fights, and that's how she always wins. He's usually one, standing still, with Gaara on the other hand, letting his sand just take the blows, and also just overpowers people. That's all he ever does. Essentially, Gaara's a brute force opponent, which Toph deals with all the time. Also, the thing about Toph Iron Maidening Gaara, yeah, she didn't really even need to get close to him. She could have easily just turned that thing solid in the air. And yes, scientifically, if you compress sand enough, you can turn it completely solid. I'm talking about stone solid. You can turn a bunch of sand and compress it into stone. And with Superman versus Goku, you know what? I'm not even gonna bring that up because, like, anybody that seriously still thinks that Goku can beat Superman is an idiot. Goku always will have limits. He's a great character, he's a great guy, but he will always have limits, while Superman is limitless. Remember lifting eternity and infinity? Let me read to you from the thing from Infinity. Some kind of abstract infinite intelligence, the biggest life form I've ever encountered. A conscious living void with our entire multiverse growing inside of it. Superman was basically lifting the multiverse, meaning he was lifting everything. Yeah, Shazam is there, but he's literally just there. Compared to what Superman is lifting, Shazam is basically lifting nothing. And here's where he lifted Spectre. The Spectre's body you see is composed of consciousness, a cosmic consciousness that contains eternity itself. Literally lifting eternity. And I know some people are going to try and argue, well, he's not really lifting him. That's just how the fucking panel was drawn, and just because you can't see past that bottom part does not mean that he's not lifting him. Yeah, Goku ain't gonna touch that. All honesty, anybody that thinks ScrewAttack is against anime is completely fucking stupid. Saying that, why won't you just let an anime character win for once? First of all, they're not going to just let an anime character win. They do months of fucking research for this shit, okay? Hey, you know how y'all felt? I felt the same way when I saw Wolverine versus Raiden, and then I heard the explanation, and then I'm like, yeah, that actually makes complete fucking sense. Anaerobic vibranium vibrates molecules, liquefies any metal, including adamantium, which is the same damn thing that the Murasama blade that Raiden has does. Completely sound argument. It is. And no, ScrewAttack is not anti-anime. You know how many anime characters have won? Well, let's name a few. Hercule Satan, Vegeta, oh look, 2 Dragon Ball Z characters. Guts, who Boomstick loved to talk about a lot. Gundam Epion. Oh yeah, and Astro Boy. You know, the original anime character. Who, by the way, they actually left out from when Astro Boy won, that he basically slowed down the descent of the city falling out of the sky. Imagine trying to push up a city that's falling out of the sky. Yeah, Mega Man was screwed in that. I'm well aware that they left out the fact that Mega Man had electric weapons and that Astro Boy was weak to electricity, but here's this. Astro Boy is a robot, so is Mega Man. By that logic, they're both weak to electricity. Hell, if you actually want to talk logically, Mega Man's basically weak to his own fucking weapons. The ones that he stole from freaking Robot Masters, which he's obviously been hurt from plenty of times. Astro Boy had the power, speed, and durability advantage, and they also left out that he's hyper-adaptive, meaning that he can match and then exceed his opponent's strength, meaning he could even take on Mega Man X. So, yeah. In conclusion, no, ScrewAttack is not anti-anime. There have been more anime characters that have won than there have that have lost. And just because you choose not to acknowledge that does not mean that what you say about ScrewAttack being against anime is true. It doesn't at all validate it. There you go.